I know that a lot of the country is talking about bail reforms as the end-all fix-all, but ultimately, laws and writing laws do not just fix a problem with the flip of a switch.
Well, I think they do. So Bill C-75, you know, the piece of liberal legislation that's made bail easier for these offenders, and also C-5, which reduced the sentences that judges are able to give out to those convicted, finally convicted. So if you manage to potentially commit a crime, get arrested, you know, on trial, you're convicted, and your sentence is a lot less. But at the meantime, because of C-75 and C-5, these horrible pieces of legislation, oftentimes you are spending your time waiting trial at home or out on bail or, you know, not behind bars where you should be. And we're not talking about, let's be clear, we're not talking about some 18-year-old who made a mistake. We're talking about those that continue to create havoc in our communities over and over again. Because my community just had in a very small area up in Haliburton County, you know, very quiet community, right? You know, people just go about their lives, just want to be left alone, but they're feeling unsafe because a small number of people keep committing more and more crime. It's the same crime over and over again. People are feeling unsafe, and they're sick and tired of it because when I listed those numbers, it not only means crime is up, but the number of victims are up.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jamie. And it doesn't really matter where you go. It doesn't really matter where you go because we continue to hear the story repeated over and over and over. But I think before I forget, I do want to thank the incredibly brave men and women that serve us, that protect us, not only up here in Ottawa, but in all of our regions. Those that put on the uniform, those that wear the badges, that put their life on the line each and every single day. They really need to have the kudos. It's not their fault, by the way, Jamie, that crime is up. It's certainly not their fault. It's the failed liberal policies, to your point. And, you know, we could dive into a million different things, but I like to tell real life stories. And I will tell you that one person from my staff just 2 weeks ago got her car broken into in her own driveway, and nothing was taken. I will tell you a story from this morning. So this morning, a woman told me a story. And the story was she lives in the basement, probably because she can't afford a home, right, of another person. And upstairs, they had a celebration for a mother and a father that were going to be having a baby here. I think she was like 7 or 8 months pregnant. And sometime through the night, somebody broke into their garage and stole nothing. But then they broke into the house through the patio, and they took the alcohol and they took the food, left the iPads, left the computers. What that tells me is people are wildly desperate because the Liberals for the last 10 years have completely driven this country, the opportunity in this country, right to the basement. And that's how desperate people are. But at the same time, when you enable and allow these folks to get a free pass and not spend the time behind bars for rehabilitation, we have a major, major problem.